Ladies and gentlemen, live, another Facebook Live with real estate extraordinaire from the lovely state of Arizona in, the Kierland office, otherwise known as, what's that little town you live in again there, Nicole?
Oh, Scottsdale, Arizona.
Scottsdale, Arizona. All right, welcome to the show. What were you like? What did you finish last year? Number 32, was it? 34. Nice. Whoa, and what did you just turn?
34.
What a coincidence!
For this year.
Okay, awesome. I know you're not supposed to.
Thank you for announcing that.
I know, I'm sorry. Well, it's better than I say, okay, never mind. Don't tell us how old you are. Just tell us how much you weigh. That would have been worse, right?
Yeah, that would have been worse. But we can announce my age all the way up till next year when I turn 35. But after that. Done.
Wow, okay. We'll just say happy birthday.
Exactly.
By the way, 35 is very young, and you'll understand that. I'm 58. You'll notice every 5 years you'll be like, wow, yeah, I still feel great. And you still look great, too, so don't worry about it.
Thank you.
All right, so tell us a little about yourself, all that good stuff, please.
My name's Nicole. I've been in real estate almost 4 years. This year we'll start my 4th year. Berkshire has been my home since I got my real estate license. I live in Scottsdale, Arizona. I grew up in Dallas, Texas. I have a twin sister, a golden doodle, and a husband.
Golden doodle and a husband. Mr. Mike Graffone, I call him as a joke because his first name's Mike. Yeah, it's pretty corny. But I am the king of dad jokes, and you already knew that. So,
no, you're the king of Google jokes. Like, you go on and recite them. And
very
save
ouch.
them on a notepad.
Wow, she's on to me, Paul. All right, so tell us. Okay, so to be 34, only 4 years in the business, and be number 34 in a company that has almost 1,000 agents in Arizona, that's a pretty awesome accomplishment. So congratulations on that, first of all.
Thank you.
All right, tell us how you do that.
Kind of like we spoke about earlier, I've been like authentically myself since day one. I don't change for any transaction or any person. I do believe my transactions work better when I just am who I am, and people either like that, they're attracted to that, or they're not. And like I said, I'm not for everyone. You're not for everyone, and that's what we need to understand about this business. You're attracted to personality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree. Yeah, and that takes a long time for people to understand, I think, because a lot of times people try to be everything to everyone, and then you just end up making everybody mad, right?
Yeah, and when you first get into the business, you kind of feel like you have to mold to a certain person, like obviously my style has gradually changed with the profession, because I'm very big about that, holding myself to a higher standard. But as far as who I am, that's never changed.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you guys, you and your sister, I know you have your own social media account between the two of you too, and you guys do really well. And I think people can tell when you're acting authentically, and they can tell when you're trying to be someone you're not. It's so transparent. I would call it even stinky too.
Yeah, it's really stinky. And yeah, we have a good social media following. I do have my real estate page, which it's been insane with just the interactions that I've had on that, and the people who have come to me and been like, what's your secret? And I get messages. I talk to so many people a day just asking for advice, guidance, and my opinion on how I got to where I am today, and any advice I could give them, which is really, really rewarding because I haven't been in this business that long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not. It's a great thing about it because it's an interesting combination to where you've climbed the ladder really quick, especially in the market you're in, which is a pretty competitive market. You do really well. You have another guy over here, I know to our right, who is sliding around in the background there, Curtis, who does very well at a young age too. There he is. Hey, what's up, my man?
Yeah, he's been in for a while. But he started as a kid.
Yeah.
Wow. I grew, I wouldn't say quickly, but I definitely learned a lot to help me grow more each year, right? So my goal this year is pretty large, and I'm almost there. So we'll see. And it's April?
Yeah. You might have to raise that goal.
Yeah. I thought about that yesterday. Obviously, I got really lucky with a recent transaction that definitely is a milestone in my career. So it is
High sale
humbling.
price?
Yeah.
Oh, do share.
We're under contract at 10.7 million. So
Wow.
yeah.
I didn't even know that. Congratulations.
You're not following me close enough, Rick. I am offended.
You know,
I get to call him those.
you know, your golden doodle and your golden husband will be very happy with you.
Oh yeah, he definitely is my biggest fan for sure.
Mhm.
So that is awesome. But like I said, I think everyone on his side knew about this transaction because I've been in the middle of it for over a week, and I didn't really say anything, but he gets so excited that he tells all of his friends and his family. So the second I accepted it and we went under contract, everyone on that side sent me a message and I was like, wow.
Yeah. Isn't that
But
great?
yeah, definitely
Well,
rewarding.
see,
And like I
and I was going to say, the way you've done it too is not the traditional way out there pounding the pavement, knocking on doors, making phone calls. You've been doing it by relationships and working from one to another, expanding that, which is a really interesting, awesome way to do it.
and that's what I tell everyone. Like, you know, I bartend at Maple and Ash, and a
Hmm.
lot of people have this perception that people walk in and they're like, I'm gonna go to the bartender who's a real estate agent and I'm gonna trust her with the transaction. And that is not how it works at all. It's like
Right.
everything else in life. You have to build that trust from ground zero and nurture those relationships for years. I mean, I closed a deal earlier this year in Incline Village, about, and
Hmm.
I have known him for several years and he had a real estate agent before me. And much like this transaction that I'm in the middle of right now, we've been friends for 10 years. And you really have to get those people to trust you in a different light, in a different career, in a different setting, and that's been a hurdle for me to get over, like coming from the hospitality industry. They see you as that person. They don't see you as, oh, she's a successful real estate agent, I'm just going to trust her with everything. And you really have to build on that. And it's been an obstacle for sure.
Well, you've obviously done really well because you've been, because your mindset is, I am that person. I can do those transactions, and they just you make them materialize too. You have a innate, you exude confidence too, which I think is attractive to people who are spending a lot of money. They want to make sure the person they're working with can get it done.
Yeah. Yeah. My clients are like, you are a pit bull. And that's much like the one in Incline Village. He told me, he's like, I don't ever want to do a transaction that you're not part of because you truly look out for my best interest. I told him to walk away from a deal because it felt so shady that I was like, I don't know if this is a good idea. And he was so discomplaced because he was like in the middle of selling his business. And he was like, I cannot believe that so many people would be like, oh, I'm not going to get paid if he doesn't close. And to me, it was so much more important for him to be in a good position going into that transaction. So, yeah, we walked away and now he doesn't do anything without me, which is awesome, right?
No, it's nice when you have that. Yeah, absolutely. I think that when people can tell that you're all about them and helping them get what they want, as opposed to all about yourself and getting a commission check, my little joking comment, I call that commission breath. Yeah, that's also
Yeah.
stinky, smelly, and very transparent. They can tell. People are smart. They have a good meter. They know when you're all about them or all about yourself in the transaction and just counting the dollars. It really is obvious which one you are.
And even with the transaction I'm in right now, this big one, we walked away from it.
Mm.
We were very, very, very close. And I told my client, I said, I think we need to do what you feel is best, and if that's not coming up in price, then okay, we will find something else. You know what I mean? So we walked away from the transaction and 24 hours later they came back. And he even said to me, he was like, this is the easiest transaction I've ever been a part of. He was like, you are not pushy at all. You understand that I have to go through a process and you are so respectful of that. So it was really rewarding to hear.
Good. Well, good. Yeah, and you know what? That sale price is pretty awesome. That's your highest sales to date, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it definitely is. So
I mean, let's
it's
face it,
so
10 million is a good year for some agents. One deal, that's pretty damn good. Congratulations. I love that.
I was joking. I was like, your earnest deposit is more than some people's homes. Like, that's crazy to even think about. The buyer pool is very, very small in
Mhm.
that price range. So he's a great friend. He's a great person. And I am really honored to represent him in this. So,
You keep doing deals like this, Nicole Demas, the sky's the limit.
microphone might be retiring.
Right. Microphone, he might become your assistant.
He always asks me. He's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, do you want to like be a team?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "I'll be back of the house," and I'm like, "Nah, I don't know about that."
Well, he does his
So
job well because he saved me money. I appreciate that on the trip that Tina and I are going at the end of the year, too. So thanks for that.
yeah, whenever you need that, you just let me know.
Absolutely. Well, just so people know, he's in the travel business.
Oh, great. Let's just put that out there for everyone to call me
Yeah.
for reservations and travel. Yeah.
Right. Let's make him $1 billion too. What the hell?
What the hell?
Well, and you said, okay, so what you said about the average sale price. Now, I've been with the company for almost 9 years now, and the average sale price, you've been in the business for about half that, right? 4.5 years. The average sale price has gone crazy in Scottsdale, hasn't it?
Yeah, before this deal, my average sales price was a little over a million based on my transactions of last year. I did just under 14 million, 13 transactions. So, yeah, my average price point has always been high. Um, I think it just really depends on where you specialize or where you work to answer that question.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But Scottsdale is I call it like it's like almost like the new Orange County. It's on the map. You see the cars there. You can just feel the money, the income there, people, the houses. I mean, it's really a nice, super clean, and the average sale price is really. I mean, because a lot of people are coming from the Bay Area, they're coming from Washington
Yeah.
State, they're coming from, San Diego, Los Angeles. I mean, there's where they're coming from. They're still really decent prices too.
We just, it's that bubble. It's that Arcadia, that PV, that North Scottsdale. But once you kind of get out of that and the outskirts, it's not very expensive to live here and have maintain a good life, right? Our property taxes are super low. I grew up in Dallas, Texas, and the property taxes there are just through the roof. So it's a kind of an affordable place to live. And what people don't understand is like your average sales price in Texas could be like 500,000, but you factor in those property taxes, and you can live in such a nicer, bigger home out here. So, but I did hear via Mark Wahlberg that Las Vegas is going to be the new LA.
Mark Wahlberg, my boy from South Boston. I love that dude. You know what? He did a movie called The Boxer. If you've ever seen it, you got to see it. But it's based out of a guy from Worcester, Massachusetts. And I think Mark Wahlberg is awesome. But yeah, he's really into Las Vegas. He's doing videos like
He
all
lives
around.
there.
I know he does. But he's like
Yeah.
he's like doing live videos like we do on this, right from all over. Like I see him doing a video. I'm like, I know where he is. Right. So yeah, he lives here now. He couldn't wait to get out of
He
that
thinks that that's the
mansion.
direction that people are going to start going from Hollywood to Vegas because it's so close, and Hollywood's such a toxic life. So he's moved his entire family, and he believes that that's where everyone's going to start shifting. So if they're not coming here, they're going to you, my friend. So make
Yeah, I
sure you
know.
send me all those referrals.
Well, and exactly. See, always thinking business. I love it. No, both areas are high. I mean, Arizona has been like the last 3 years, number one location for people leaving California. Texas is up there, even Florida. But and Nevada's been in the top five. But maybe that will reverse a little bit, and more people. The thing about the Strip is that once people get over the fact, okay, there's a Strip. I live in Summerlin. I live 25 minutes from the Strip. I go to the Strip maybe 2-3 times a year. It's like it's a nice little place to visit, and if you need entertainment, and it's a great place to go. But it's kind of like otherwise, it's very much like Arizona. It's very nice. People are spread out. It's a great area to live, and no state income tax, no sales. I mean, it's a great cost of living here too. Same with your area.
Yeah, but you guys are, I feel like you guys get a little bit like hotter than we do in the
Well,
summer.
actually, it's the other way around. We're just a little cooler, not by much, in the winter too. Yeah. Sorry.
You think? God,
It's a
sometimes I
it's
go,
a
I'm like, ugh, it's like sticky.
But remember, where you are, it's really only July and August. The rest of the year it's worth it. In most areas, like
Mhm.
where I come from, 5 years of it could snow for 5 months of the year. So, you know, This is a good trade-off. No area is perfect, but some are a little bit more perfect than others. All right, before we go though, give us some ideas. So I'm an agent. I want to take my business to the next level. What would you tell them? Give them 2 or 3 things to focus on, whether they're new or going to the next level, whatever. What are the things that you would tell them to focus on to be successful in this business?
I think creating relationships with people that you've known, and just because they had an agent before doesn't mean that they will necessarily stay with that person. So don't be pushy about it, but definitely maintain those relationships. And that sometimes you'll never get some of the people that you thought you would. I've been in 4 years, and there are some people that it still blows my mind, that they don't call me for transactions. I think that's the big one. Always push to do more. Don't get, just like me with this deal. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you're going to retire for the year," and I'm like, "No." I just keep
Don't be
striving to
complacent.
be. Yeah, I keep striving to do more. I think that's really, really important. Not giving up. It's really, really easy to just not have instant success and try and walk away. That is a really big one for me. And, just surround yourself with people that can help you, grow you, motivate you. I think that's really big for me too. I surround myself in a group of friends that we push each other, and it's been super helpful for me in my career. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's really big too.
Yeah, and that's great. That's why it's great to see a lot of you top producers are hanging out together in the office because well, I can't remember which book I read, but they basically said you're a sum total of the 5 to 10 people that you spend the most time with, and it's so true. If you
I It's 100% true. I tell everyone that because it's like, if you have to look around, and if the 5 people that you spend the most time with aren't growing you, aren't bettering you, then you are 100% wasting your time.
Yep. And I don't know if you see that on the screen, but there's somebody named Dawn Marie you may know who just said Nicole is sharp as a tack. So it's good to have your own sharing section too. Good job.
I try. Yeah, I try. My support has been through the roof since I started in this business, and it continues to grow every single day. So it's like really cool because I do like to offer whatever advice I can, for new agents. And
Mhm.
I was telling my husband, I think yesterday, that after my transaction went live on social media, the texts, the calls, the support that Berkshire has given me from that it's insane.
Good. Good. Are you going to Summit this year too?
I'm not.
What?
I don't think I'm going to go to Hawaii, man. Like, I don't know. That's kind of a sleepy town. I think
A
it's kind of
sleepy
romantic.
town. That's the whole idea.
Yeah, but if I was going to Hawaii, I feel like it would be like kind of a romantic getaway. So yeah,
You don't
I
want
don't
to
know.
spoil it on a training event. You want to save it for something where you, Mr. Griffon, can go out there.
Griffon, we like Maui. I like Maui a lot, but I will say I do like Summit a little bit better than I like Convention. I did go to Convention this year. It's just like, it's really overwhelming to me. It's a lot of people. I think Summit is a lot more intimate. So I do advise everyone who gets invited to something like that
Yep.
to go to experience it, because you meet really good connections and great relationships. And I met some really, really cool people throughout, Berkshire Hathaway that I got to see in convention, which was great. It's just so hard with how many people were in convention.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought the 2 main speakers were incredible, though. The guy about being a hero, and wasn't that awesome?
Oh my God.
Wasn't that great?
Everyone around me was crying.
Yeah.
It was
Same with me.
insane.
Yeah.
It was crazy. He was so good. I
He
loved his
was.
message. He was so like monotone, but had so much power behind what he
Right.
said. I
Yeah.
was actually telling Curtis about him because he missed the general session. To
Wow. Shoots
to
and
get his
scores.
book, and read it. I was
Yeah.
like, man, his message was just incredible. Like, and it's
Well, we have a question
so
here.
true.
We have a question here for you from Tatum Smith. You may know her. She's a pretty
Yes.
popular gal, too.
Yeah. She's my sister.
That's right. That's what it says right here. Sissy, she said, okay, other than relationships, what do you do to market yourself? I think you talked a little bit about that, but give them some specifics about Instagram, maybe Facebook, so forth.
So
TikTok.
I have a farm right now, which is my neighborhood. It's 48 houses. And I hit that pretty heavy. It's always a blessing and a curse to be in your neighborhood because if it goes bad, it goes bad, or if it goes good, it goes great. So I try and stay very dominant in there. I just brought in that to do targeted ads to that place. I have a marquee at Trader Joe's, and I get so much like conversation on that. I also put myself in a lot of events around the town. I do a lot of natural marketing, a lot of interaction. I don't pay a lot of money to like send postcards and whatnot. I keep that very, very minimal. Most of my marketing is word of mouth, is huge. So take those clients that love you and really push them to speak on your behalf. And that has been so rewarding to me, and it has built such a referral based network for me. I have a client and her name is Gina. She's amazing. She has a house in my neighborhood. I sold her daughter a house. You might have seen my testimonial video. She's
Hmm.
23 years old, bought her first time house.
I
And
think I do
she's
remember
just
that
been
one.
she's been such a great partner. It's awesome to see the people who come to me and like, oh, Gina told me about you. And it's like, you have to build that arsenal of people who really trust you or support your career or the direction you're going. So that is really, really big for me. But like I said, I really don't spend a lot of dollars in marketing because
Right.
it is so natural and interacting. My social media is great. I do pay a girl to post for me, but we have conversations every single day, all day long about what goes on that social. So I may not post it. She keeps my color schemes where they need to be, but she keeps it very consistent and she's on top of me like, hey, this is what you need to be posting. Send me some ideas. And we stay very on top of a social media. And my interactions are like 20,000 a
That's
month, which is
awesome.
insane.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
met, we,
I'm happy when I get over 1,000, 1,500. But I'm not as
yeah,
popular as you. By the way, your partner in crime over here, Christina, just chimed in to say hello. So did Thomas. He said you're amazing and your work ethic. He brings up an interesting point here. He says, "How do you balance your work life and personal life?" Because I see you as doing that very well. Because I see you take vacations. You and Mr. Graffone go out together. You go like I just saw you in Mexico. You work hard. You also, I think, prospect well from your other job, and you take time off with your family too. So tell us a little about that.
So I work one night a week at Maple and Ash. I was doing three, but obviously I had to cut back significantly because real estate obviously takes the front seat and
Yeah,
that is, the back. And I have found that going in at 5 o'clock on Friday nights is great because from 5 to midnight, not most people are winding down from their week. They don't want to see anything, but I'm always available. So my sister is my boss, which is awesome because she understands if I need to step out or if I need to take a call. Everyone in Maple and Ash is very, very supportive of the direction of my career. So that is one. I do one. Oh, hi, Christina. She has
yeah,
just
she's
logged
right
on.
there.
Yeah, there she is. She actually just got a promotion for national beverage director over all of their stuff. So that's great. She's growing in her
Congratulations,
career
Christina.
just like I am.
She's an
So
overachiever too, isn't she? She probably
yep,
gets it done. I would imagine.
the Demas girls don't really like to sit still. So, with that being said, my work life balance, my personal and work, at the beginning of my career, I had a really, really hard time doing that because I was like so motivated to like kickstart my career. I really didn't know how to do that well. Tatum knows that I live, breathe, die a calendar. I have three of them. I have a notepad probably as long as I am tall with just notes that constantly remind me of the things I need to do. And then I take that notepad and I make a smaller list per day so I can cross those off on what the things that I need to do. I wake up in the morning and I usually like to have like at least an hour of just like calming. And now I'm trying to read 20 pages in a book and work out 20 minutes at night. So I have that scheduled. The only person I really talk to in that hour is Christina. Um, so I like kind of like zen out myself. And
Mhm.
then microphone is actually more of a homebody than I am. So I really do force him to get out because I really like to go network and go to events and go on vacation. And I've really had to pull him out of that. So I balance my career. I like to balance having fun, traveling. My relationships, my friendships are very important to me as well. So I have a really, really good way of making sure that everyone in my life who's important to me feels important and I give them that time. It's just about my biggest thing of 2023 was saying no to things. I mean,
Mm,
of 2022. So of 2023, I really do have to take a little bit more time to say, hey, no, I can't do that because I was exhausting myself last year. I mean,
mm,
I was doing everything. I was at basketball games 3 times a week. I was at concerts, and vacationing, and here we were just exhausting. It
mhm.
got very, very exhausting, but I do really like to stay social, and I will
Yep.
always be that girl.
Yep. No, it's very obvious. You're naturally good at it. Your social media stuff is good. It's authentic, and it's good to show people that not only are you a business, rock star, but you have a personal life. You have hobbies. You do vacations. All of that's completely helpful with your marketing yourself, as Tatum asked. I think for sure.
And I was in the airport, on my way to convention, and I met an agent from EXP. We got to talking. He sent me a referral. So it's
Nice.
like everywhere I go, whether it's a basketball game, whether it's a concert, whether it's something, everyone around me knows what I do in my career, and it's just an entryway to have those conversations. And you really get to spend like an hour with those people, of them seeing who you are outside of business, and it
Mm.
really makes them fall in love with you and gateway into a professional relationship.
So true. Yeah, if they trust you and like you, that's the thing today too, because people are always worried about experience and are they going to ask me how many homes I've sold? And if they like you and trust you, that stuff never even enters their mind, right?
Sometimes it did for me in the beginning of my career, I will say. I
Mm.
felt like I really did have to prove myself, especially being so young and being new. And when you get into a luxury market, it is a very, very, very different ballgame. You know what I mean? Like, they do ask those questions sometimes, but now I
Yeah,
feel like I have gotten to a place where it's not asked anymore. I have
yeah.
proved myself and I have worked hard.
Well, your confidence level too. I mean, remember because I remember you taking Success Series and being in the training room, and when you were trying to figure it out or which way. But now that you've got your groove, it comes out of you, and people can sense the confidence. And when they sense a little insecurity, then they ask more questions. When they feel the confidence and you know what you're doing, they like when I teach them in Success Series about handling objections. When you have the confidence to handle the objections, you almost get no objections because they can feel that. But before
Yeah.
that, when they sense the insecurity, the nervousness, that's when people have more questions, I think.
And I definitely have never struggled my entire life with confidence. Like,
Right.
you know, I I've always been that girl that, faces everything that comes her way. So I haven't ever struggled with that, but you do almost get thrown into a ring, and it's like you got to test it because they will come at you and you're like, "Oh my gosh,"
Right.
and you get almost, they can feel that nervousness. And I've had to walk away from deals, and I've had to come back and be like, "No, this is actually not the truth. This is where we are and this is how it's going to be." And it's like I said, once you get to that luxury market, like they test you.
Mm-hmm. Now, I just have to ask. I've met Christina once, but I haven't spent anywhere near as much time as with you. Obviously, is your twin sister as confident naturally as you? Both you guys about the same?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Um,
she's a bulldog too. Pit bull. Sorry, you said pit
oh
bull.
yeah. Definitely. And she manages people.
Yeah,
So I've actually
it's a
learned,
beautiful restaurant too. It's a beautiful
yeah,
place.
I've actually learned a lot watching her manage people and taking that into my career of managing my clients or emotions or anything like that, because you do have to like take a step back and see somebody else's point of view and why maybe they feel that way. And that's, I think, another piece of advice I would have to give is put yourself in those shoes for one day. Like, I'm very, very good at seeing two sides to a story and understanding why people may get here. And I
Mhm.
think that a lot of people struggle with that because they don't see past their opinion or their point of view. And yeah, she's the pit bull too. The
Yeah,
twins are a power couple.
and Dawn Marie calls you guys the twins are a power couple. I love it. That's
Yeah.
great.
It's very, very true. Like my husband and the relationships her and I have been in our whole lives with men very much know that this is who we are,
Mhm.
unapologetically ourselves, and like this is what you get, you
Right.
know?
Yeah, I'm sure he's happy. Mr.
Oh yeah,
Grafone.
you're
He's a
not gonna
super
run
guy.
around here if he wasn't. And I keep him on his toes every day, I
You
keep him on his toes.
just cracking the
Keep him
whip,
on his
baby.
toes.
Cracking the whip. Get in line, Mike.
You got to spend a little time with Christina. I'm very curious to see what you would think with both of us in a room together. It's quite
Well, let's
entertaining.
next time in town, let's go out for after. Maybe we'll even bring Curtis with us and a few other people, and we'll have some
That would be
fun.
really, really fun. Just let us know.
What is he saying?
He's saying, yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's do it. And we can play golf too. We'll play golf and then go to dinner. Here we go.
I can play golf. I know you might be surprised by this. I can
I would not be
absolutely
surprised.
hit the ball. Really?
Yeah. No, we had a
I would.
couple. We had a couple. Oh, I can't think of her first name, but obviously Kim Nathanson plays, and there was another woman from what office is she in? I can see her face. I just can't. I'm drawing a blank, but yeah. So we'll definitely do that. Have some fun. Let's see. We're at time now. So, any final words you want to leave these lovely people?
I think my best advice is stick it out, be true to who you are, never change. And what did that guy say in convention? It's extraordinary people choosing not to do ordinary things.
Right. Right. That's such a great way of looking at it too, because most people say it's just ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and it's
Correct.
ordinary people choosing to do
No,
extraordinary
it's extraordinary people choosing
choosing.
not to be ordinary.
Right. Right. Exactly. Right. I love it. That's exactly, and that's a great way to put it too. And and look at this. You've been doing this for 4 years, right? Most people, like my son actually, my oldest, he's graduating from UConn Law. He'd be in school 8 years. Okay, you're already making that kind of money and you're into it 4 years, right? So if you think about it, it's an incredibly awesome business. If you, just like you said, stick it out, put the time in, pay your dues, you'll be very happy.
And always think outside of the bubble. I have 2 investment properties, so I'm not doing just sales. I'm trying to set myself up for a future. I'm 34,
Oh
three
my God.
houses. Yeah.
She's 34. She's going to retire in a few years.
You know what? Maybe I will. Who knows? Maybe I'll travel around to Mexico like you do.
Well, yeah, I'm going to tell you something that you're not the retiring type, and it may take you a few
Yeah.
more years to figure that out.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I've already figured it out. I can't sit still for longer than an hour, Rick. So.
It's no, I can't imagine being retired full time because, I mean, you need a purpose, right? You need a purpose.
And I've always told Mike that I want a purpose. And my client even told me, he's like, you could have just retired and went a very different direction in life than chose to work as hard as you do. And I was like, I just am never going to be that girl. I'm always going to be the one who's working and pushing forward. And
It's a great
am.
place to be. It's a great place to be. Well, you're awesome, and thank you for taking your time out, Nicole. Thank you very much. Thank you for behaving back there, Curtis, too. You guys are awesome. Thanks, Nicole. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.